And we're live.
We are live.
Guys, I am absolutely and unbelievably excited and honored to be joined by my good friend, Gil Valerio. We haven't seen each other in a minute, so y'all are just going to kind of watch us catch up, but through the context of learning and gaining some insights from Gil, an incredible milestone in your entrepreneurial journey, which is that you are coming off the back of a successful exit of your agency. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
crazy. It was a little bit more. It wasn't as planned out as I thought it was going to be,
Mm,
but it happened. It's crazy. From the thought popping in my mind was around mid 2023 to
right.
actually signing the paperwork and closing was December of 2023. So like from a thought to closing took 6
Wild.
months. So
Wild.
yeah,
Wild.
it was crazy.
Yeah, sounds like a crazy 6 months. And
Yeah.
how are you like overall temp check, how are you feeling? Like, is this the exit that you wanted and that you'd planned for?
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful, right?
Yeah,
Like I built this business kind of based off of my gyms that I originally had in 2020, and
right.
then that like spun into a marketing agency. So from 2020 to 2023 to build a multi-million dollar business and then exit for multi-millions is like I'm grateful. It was a wild ride.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm happy with it. But I think like any entrepreneur, there were, that was like a child to me, pretty much, that
Yeah,
business.
that's your
So
baby.
it's not just like, it's mixed emotions. It's not just one emotion. You're not
Yeah.
just happy, excited, wow, this big payday. There are mixed emotions. There's excitement. There's, wow, I did this thing. It actually happened. But then there's also, oh man, like I'm giving up a piece of me that's been very important the last 3 years. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in this. So yeah, it's cool. The time right after was
Mm,
strange for me,
mhm, I bet.
because it was like kind of like, what do I do?
Yeah.
But I took time. I think this. You know enough about me to know this about me, which is like I like to move fast.
Yeah.
100 miles an hour type of person, and I took time to allow my mind and my body to slow down.
Mm,
Took some time with my family, like
mhm.
really just. I don't want to say didn't do anything, but I wasn't like actively pursuing anything. I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was
Yeah.
just allowing time to relax and think. So it was cool but confusing at the same time.
Dude, I absolutely bet. I believe that. Do you feel like you were ready for the exit, that you could just like have the thought, turn it on, and away we go? Or was there a lot of prep that you needed to throw together last minute? Like, what was that process like?
So are you asking more personally, like with me or with the business or
I
both?
guess both. I guess both.
Yeah. So let me answer from the business side, because I feel like if someone's listening, they'll get a lot
Mhm,
of value in
mhm.
this. I was absolutely not ready to sell the business from a business operational organization standpoint.
Okay.
And had the thought popped in my mind 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then I was taking uh, real steps to construct a business and set it up in a way to exit, I would have gotten a lot more money. So, part
Mhm.
of the conversations I've had with other CEOs and entrepreneurs is like, even if you're not ready to sell right now, or it's not even a thought in your mind, start doing things to set your business up as if you were going through due diligence right now.
Yeah.
Because any buyer, any logical, smart, competent buyer is going to poke holes in any inefficiencies you have in your business. And
Mm.
there's just a lot more little nuanced things that you don't really think about, that don't come up until you're actually pursuing a sale. So from that standpoint, did I have a good business that made a ton of money, that was great, had good clients, had good team members, executives? Absolutely. Was the business fully ready
Mm.
to just put up for sale?
Right.
I would say no, and I would say I could have gotten a lot more money had I planned longer. Me personally, kind of the same answer. Like I think, well, I know that I'm the type of person that likes to pursue milestones. So like if I don't have something, a big boulder that I'm chasing in front of me,
Yeah.
I feel a bit lost, right? Like just going through the business day to day operationally, like I it kind of can be mundane for me.
Mm.
So um it was quick that it happened, but I think as soon as the thought popped in my mind that this was the way that I'm going, that was my next big boulder. So I was pursuing it with everything that I could. So
Yeah.
maybe I wasn't fully ready, but I was like all in getting to
Mm.
that goal people as quickly as I can. And part of that is the reason that it happened from inception to close was less than 6 months. So.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking, like, tactically, what were some of the things that weren't ready that if you had 2 years to prep, you would have put more time and energy towards really solidifying them?
Oh man, there's a lot. But as uh as organized as we were and as well as some of our, I like to think some of our systems were set up, they could
Mm,
always be better.
mm,
So just organization in our back end. We have a lot of things that we built over a 3-year period, but it was kind of scattered and just
mm,
for somebody that's doing due diligence and is wanting to understand that, it's very hard for them to do that if it's not extremely organized.
yeah.
So that's one. Two is people.
Mm,
I don't think well, my team was running the business and they were doing a great job. And I feel proud that I was able to bring people in that I could truly delegate to,
mm,
that were things were happening in my business, systems being built, products being launched that I didn't even know about. To me, that's a sign of success, right? That means you have people that are as smart or smarter than you that are helping you grow the business. However, I don't know that I set up them to understand a
mm,
transition and really feel comfortable. There was still initially this sense of like, if this CEO, if Gill is gone, the whole business falls apart, right?
mm,
So
mm,
I think that was a bit of a shock to them. And then they quickly realized, oh no, like this is okay. Like
yeah,
we got this, right? But
yeah,
I don't know exactly how I would have done that, but I would have prepared my team and my leaders more to understand like you all are running this business now and you
yeah,
are doing a great job. We're growing.
yeah.
Uh, there's so many little things just from financials, right? Like better tracking of financials. I mean, we have bookkeepers and all that stuff, but like having, um, I had partners. So having really clearly documented quarterly meetings that outline the financials, the
Mm,
challenges that we've overcome, the things that we're running into, like those are things that a buyer, if they're looking at your business, they're going to want to see them. They're going to want to see them in an organized manner. And if you fail to have them, they're
yeah,
going to question, well, how do I know that the business isn't going to fall apart, right?
yeah.
In a year without you or something.
Yep, totally. So for somebody listening right now, maybe they want to exit in the next 1 to 3 years, but they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, Gil, I hear you, but like sales, revenue, profit, like I got to focus on this shit. I can't be focused on systems and organization and finances," right? Like what would you say to your 2 years ago self to try and get them to shuffle their priorities a little bit?
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with them. You
Mm,
can't, but
mm,
that's where building a team of people comes
mm,
in. And I believe in, me and you have always like chuckled and laughed about this together. Like I strongly believe in that you do need to prioritize marketing and sales and revenue. If those things go away, you cease to have a business. But if you are prioritizing that and it's working and you're doing it correctly, well, that means you have resources to use to then reinvest in people
mm,
or in companies that can come in and partner with you and help do those things the right way. So it wasn't, for me, it wasn't a lack of resources. It was a lack of focus on those things. Right. And
mm,
I would honestly just do research for CEOs out there. Like go do research on what things need to be in order to make your business sellable. Because here's the cool part. Want to know the really great part of this is that it's not wasted time and energy, right?
right.
Everything that makes your business sellable typically makes it better, right? So
Mm,
it's like if you start focusing on this 2 years or 3 years prior to selling your business, you're not wasting time or energy. You're actually making your business better while preparing for a better exit. So you
right.
could do both of those things.
Right. It will make your business easier to run, faster to grow in the day to day, and you will get a higher valuation when you go to exit.
Absolutely. Like one of the common mistakes that most businesses make is like we're just so reactive to everything that's
Mhm,
happening in the moment and we're not
mhm,
thinking 2 years out, right?
mhm.
If we all thought 2 years out all the time, or most of the time, our business would probably be better. We would probably make better decisions, right? I
Yeah,
should not say probably, we would make better
yeah,
decisions, right?
yeah.
But we don't do that. So this is a way to force you to do that, right?
Mhm,
Think if I truly want to exit my business in 2 to 5 years or whatever, well, what is my plan? What do I need to do to turn my business into the business that can sell? How much do I want to sell for? What do my numbers need to look like? We get very caught up in chasing the next payday, or, however you want to say that, because it is hard. It's hard to close deals. So we get so caught up in that, that we don't really sit back, think, and go, I want 10 million for my business. Okay, great. Now let's work backwards. Let's
Right.
dissect
Let's
that.
reverse
What does it,
engineer.
yeah, let's
Right.
reverse engineer it. Like, what is let me go look examples of businesses that sold for $10 million in the last 2 to 5 years in my vertical.
Mm.
And then let me understand from a revenue standpoint where I need to be. And then just general research can help you understand what things are going to happen in due diligence to make your business more sellable.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. I'm super curious to pick your brain on this one, because it's something I've been trying to figure out, which is that I think you represent the best of what I would maybe label, Gil, as like hustle culture. Like, you're just an incredibly hard worker. You are always showing up. You are always pouring into your business and into the next thing. And what I often see, but I think you're the exception to this, is that idea of like, I have to show up means that I have to do everything. And people accidentally, founders will build a business around themselves that becomes super reliant on them with that mindset of like, I'm just going to show up, I'm just going to do it, just give it to me, I'll figure it out. And then they fail to make the switch, the evolutionary jump to, now I'm going to build out a team that can run this thing without me, so one day I can exit. So I see that same mindset that often makes people really successful in growth really hold them back when it comes to scaling or exiting. And I'm curious how you went through that evolution and how you kind of reconcile the show up, work hard, do what you need to do for your business with create a business that can run without you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very good question. So everybody loves like shortcuts and hacks. So I'll give you that first, and then I'll give you like my organic response to that.
Okay.
Shortcut hack. Go, honestly, everybody who's an entrepreneur, go read Dan Martell's Buy Back Your Time, or listen to it on Audible. Like that, I was already attempting to make that transition that you just explained and be better at that.
Yeah.
But that book really like sent it into overdrive, because it helped give me an actual calculation, a formula to understand what I should and shouldn't be doing. Right. And I wasn't just like, I'm a CEO, I need to work on vision. What does that even mean? Right. Versus like, I'm a CEO, like, why am I in the weeds of a media buying account? Right. That Buy Back Your Time helped me truly distinguish between the two. It also helped me understand when to hire and who to hire. So go do that. That's my hack to anybody who listens to this. Or if you haven't, Jhana, it's a great book. But it's like a blessing and a curse. And I can take part of that as a compliment when someone says, hey, like you epitomize like hustle culture, right? It's like, part of me is just obsessed. Like I am obsessed with business. I truly love it. And I realized that when I sold my business, I did not want to kick back on a beach. I did not want to travel. I did not want to do anything, maybe spend some time with my kids. But like, aside from that, I wanted to get right back to it because I love this. This is what makes me feel alive. So you can, if that is you, or if you just feel an obligation because you've been blessed to be an entrepreneur and you've made a little bit of money and now you feel obligated to do everything you can with it, and that means you're going to hustle and you're going to work really hard, that's okay. You can do that, and you could work 80, 90, 100 hours a week if you choose, right? But it has to be on the right things, right? Like, you can't, again, I'm just referencing more what Dan Martell said here, but it's like, you can't be a CEO running a multi-million-dollar business and hustling on $10 an hour tasks. It's a disservice to the business. It's a disservice to you. And it's a disservice to, the gifts that you've been granted to run a business, right? It's a disservice to your team. It's a disservice to everybody. So if you want to go hard and hustle and, be obsessed or whatever, it's like, just find the higher level things that will truly make a larger impact and like hustle on those 24/7. Right. And most of the time, again, this is like a win-win scenario. Most of the time, those are going to be the things that maybe don't pull mini levers in your business, but they're going to allow you to make these like monumental milestone type jumps eventually, where you look back and you're like, wow, right? Not only has business grown, I've grown as a person. So I'm not, just to summarize what I said there, like, I'm not for or against hustle culture. I think a lot of people that know me, they're just like, Gill is just like, he criticizes me if I want to play a video game or if I want to go on a trip or whatever. And it's like, I really don't. It's just like, I'm just sharing my personal philosophies and experience. And I find a lot of things as wasted time, but it's not only because I'm just like grind. It's because I just love it. I really love the game of business. Yeah. It's like, there's no hobby that I would rather spend my time doing other than business. Right. And that is not right or wrong in a life purpose, general sense of things. Like,
yeah. No, I love that. Cool. Kind of last big question for you. Like, now that you are on the far side, you've gone through this entire life cycle. What are you thinking about doing differently with the next business? I know you're already onto your next business. What are you thinking about doing differently as you grow and scale it with the learnings of what you just went through?
Yeah. Again, kind of like a lot of thoughts like shoot into my brain when you ask that question. But the first thing is patience. So I in a more transactional business that I ran previously, my marketing company, I think some of my impatience actually served me well because I just it allowed me to move quick. It allowed me to set the bar high for my team to move quickly. But as cliche as it sounds, like if you want to do very, very big things, I think patience has to play into that. And what I want to do, like, again, I've been blessed to be in a position where I'm financially secure. I have some experience in business. I have what I like to think a good understanding of where I am right now and where I want to go. So in order to get there, like I'm going to have to exercise my patience muscle more than my impatience, because it's big and it's large, what I want to do. So, sorry, I wanted to answer that part, but my brain was going all over. So restate part of the question again to me.
Yeah. I just like, what are you thinking about or what are you doing differently in the next business you build now that you've already exited one?
Yeah. So that is part of it. Patience. I think that I am reinvesting the resources that I have in a different manner. So while I measured ROI on everything that I did in my marketing company, every dollar that put in, whether it was hiring someone or paid ads, I wanted to understand where the return on that investment would be. And it's not that I'm not measuring numbers or financials or KPIs with my new business, but it ties into patience. The money and resources that I put in are part of a very large vision. And I can't say if I don't see a return within 6 months, this is a failure, right? Because it's like, it could, and it probably will take me longer than that. So, just an example, with Elon Musk, right? When he exited PayPal, I believe, I think it was, I forgot what the numbers were, but he took 90% of that money or 100% of that money and like rolled it into either Tesla or SpaceX. I don't remember the exact story, but he was not playing to like just add 30% to his net worth. He was playing to do the biggest possible thing he could do. Right. So it was like, if I'm playing to do the biggest possible thing that I could do, I'm not just trying to add to my net worth a bit. I'm trying to win the biggest game that I could win. And sometimes that takes reinvesting patience over a very long scale. So there's a lot of little things that I would do, even just getting more nuanced. The way that I led my team, I would adjust that. I think there are pieces of myself that I plan on bringing with me into the next company, but there are pieces of myself that I need to leave behind that I just, like being more specific about that, right? Like something that I would leave behind is, I think, I know that I would spend more time getting to know my people on a personal level. As for someone like you, that might be like, duh, right? That's simple. To me, it was, to me, it was just like all business. And I took care of my people and paid them well. And I reinforced when they did great things and I complimented them and this and that. But I don't think that I truly sat down with each of them and got to know them at a personal level and understand what deeply motivated them and what they wanted to get out of working here or just what they wanted out of life. I think I would slow myself down and I'm going to get to know my next, team a lot better.
Why?
Yeah. Because that good follow-up question. You can't, okay. If I want to get the most out of the people that are helping me build a company, you obviously cannot do that if you don't truly understand what their intrinsic motivations are. Like what
Mhm.
really, really drives them. Not like, here's another $1,000 on your paycheck, right? And it is more than a question. If I just go, Jhana, what do you want out of life and what drives you? And that's it. And you give me an answer. Like, I'm not going to go deep enough with you to really, really, truly understand. And I don't know that you could, I could even fully understand that in a 30 or 60-minute conversation with you. I think I would truly have to get to know you more. You know, I
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
surface level things about you. I know you like to adventure. I know you
Right.
like to hike. I know you like those things. I don't know why. Like, why do you care about that? Why do you do those things? Right.
Mhm.
Just to get a better understanding for people in general, it would take more time, and it can't be like shallow surface level type questions. You have to actually care, you have to actually give a shit, you have to actually take the time to get to know them. And this is still self-serving, right? Like,
Right.
honestly, like,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, I want to get the most, like, I want them to be better, right? I want them to make more money, but it also helps me be better and me make more money. So just being more authentic and spending more time on that, I know that I will be able to find motivators that I
Mhm.
wasn't able to find with certain people.
Mhm.
I'll wrap this up by saying this. There were people that were extremely valuable in my prior business that left, and I
Mhm.
couldn't understand why. I'm like, I paid you well. I always said nice things to you. Why did you leave? Right? I should know the answer to that. I should
Mhm.
understand why. There was something that was leaving them unfulfilled, right? Or they wouldn't have left, right? Or maybe someone just threw a couple extra dollars at them or something. But if I had a better understanding of that, I would have kept people more, kept people longer, got more out of them, and we would have been a better company sooner.
I got no notes, dude. That was fucking epic. Gil, thank you so much for sharing these insights and this wisdom. I think it's hugely valuable to learn from somebody who has been through the process that you want to go through and shortcut the learning curve from their mistakes and their learning. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate talking to you.
Yeah, dude. Always.